Question 1 says, which statement about the following figures appears to be true? They give us figure W, figure X, figure Y, and figure Z. A says figures X and Y have one pair of parallel sides. What does the word parallel mean? Haley, what does it mean if you say that two lines are parallel?
The same way.
Not that they're the same way, but parallel lines are two lines that there's something they can't do. No matter what. They never ever what, Violet?
Cross.
They never cross. I'm going to write that here next to my paper. This, the test taking skills page, you can keep it and look at it and use it during the test like it's a page of notes. So we're going to treat it like that. So parallel sides means that they never, and I'm going to underline, never touch. They never cross. That's what parallel lines are. So A is telling me that figure X and figure Y have one pair of parallel sides. I told you all this yesterday, but I want to remind you. What kind of shape is figure X? Figure X is a what? Bradley?
Triangle.
A triangle. A triangle will never have parallel sides. It doesn't matter what kind of triangle. It doesn't matter how big or how small it is. If it's a triangle, it will never have parallel sides. A triangle only has three sides, and no matter which sides you check, if I check the right side and the top side, they cross right here. If I check the right side and the bottom side, they cross right here. And if I check the top side and the bottom side, they cross right there. Triangles can never have parallel sides. Never, ever, ever. Answer choice A tries to tell me that they do, but I know that that is not true. So this one is false. I'm going to put an F. Answer choice B says figures X and Y have at least one pair of perpendicular sides. We talked about parallel in the first answer choice, but what's perpendicular? Kylie, what are perpendicular lines? What does that mean if we say that lines are perpendicular? Kylie.
They have to cross and has to be a right angle.
Very good. Perpendicular lines are lines that cross and they have to make a right angle. So perpendicular lines need to have that right angle. If you don't see the right angle, not perpendicular. Remember to check for right angles. You have a sticky note, that works probably the best. But if you don't have a sticky note or you can't find a sticky note, you can just take a regular piece of paper and use the corner of that. So if you have a sticky note, fantastic. Use a sticky note. If not, just get a regular piece of paper and use the corner of the paper. So B says that figures X and Y have at least one pair of perpendicular sides. That means that they have at least one right angle. I'm going to check figure X. I'm going to start at the top here. I'm going to take the corner of my sticky note, try to put it in the corner of that angle, but I see that this angle here is too small. My sticky note's covering up part of that angle. What kind of angle was it that's too small for the sticky note to fit? Bradley, what kind of angle is it that's too small for the sticky note?
Acute.
Okay, this is an acute angle. I'm going to put an A in that angle. Okay, let me check the next one. Now that one fits pretty perfectly. My sticky note's right in the corner of that angle, and it's like it was made for it. It fits perfectly. What kind of angle is it? The sticky note fits perfectly. Noah?
Right angle.
This is a right angle. I'm going to put an R there. Since this says that it has at least one pair of perpendicular sides, I don't have to keep checking. Nakai, I want your focus on the math, sir. We can save that for later. Okay, so figure X does have a right angle. Now I need to go check figure Y. Try to put the corner of the sticky note there. All right. We've got another one that's too small. And Bradley told me that if my angle is too small, that means it's an acute angle. I'm going to put A for acute. Let me check this next one. Okay, well, I tried to put the sticky note there, but this angle is too big. It's kind of sticking out on one side. What was the kind of angle that sticks out? Chase, what kind of angle is it that sticks out on one side? It's an obtuse angle. Okay, I'm going to check the bottom angles. That one fits perfectly. And we said if it fits perfectly, it's what kind of angle? Kylie?
Right.
It's a right angle. Okay. This is true. I found at least one right angle on figure X and one right angle on figure Y. So this is true. Answer choice C. Figures Y and Z have all obtuse angles. Well, I haven't checked figure Z, but I have checked figure Y. And even though I didn't check all of my angles, are there only obtuse angles in figure Y? Kylie?
No.
No. I've got a right angle, I've got an obtuse angle, and I have an acute angle. So this one I know is false already. Because thankfully I started checking figure Y from the other answer choice. Answer choice D. Figures W and Y are congruent. We've seen that word a couple of times this week. We've talked about it a couple of times this week. If I say that something is congruent, What does that mean? If we call two things congruent, what are we saying about them? What does it mean for two things to be congruent? Kylie, what does it mean to be congruent?
Same shape and size.
Very good. Congruent means two things. It means the same size, and it means the same shape. It has to be both. So if I have a circle and a square, even if they're the same size, they're not congruent because those are different shapes. If I've got a little circle and a big circle, those are not congruent because they're not the same size. If I want something that's congruent, I have to have two things that are the same shape and the same size. Figure W and figure Y. They look like they are about the same size, but are figure W and figure Y the same shape? Chase, you say no. Absolutely correct. Figure W has these 2 points. Figure Y has one side that's flat and the other side has a point. So they're not congruent. That means it's also false. So the only one that was true was answer choice